History is full of blunders, from microtransactions in video games, the Vietnam War, and France. But if you close your eyes... Safe to say, history is filled with questionable decisions. Now, as we all know, according to edits, any war movie past the 21st century, war is badass, right? But recently, there have been two additions to war that aren't so badass. Drones and private mercenaries. Now this story, it involves the latter.
Yo, it was 3 white victims who worked for Tony Stark's undercover agents far beyond knocks.
Operation Gideon. Now, Operation Gideon was the 2020 attempt to overthrow Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. This was obviously before he got his ass thrown out, but this coup attempt was so horribly executed that it's just laughable. But let's start from the beginning. Now, mercenaries aren't anything new. For as long as man has waged war, man has also done it for coins. Or money, or, I don't know, 3 chickens, whatever the currency was back then. You see, at the end of the Cold War, when the world switched on peaceful mode for about 2 hours, it meant that every single army in the world downsized. So what does that mean? It means a bunch of trained veterans were now stuck in unemployment. And instead of playing Valorant or, I don't know, streaming on Twitch like the unemployed do today, they started a bunch of private military companies. Now, most PMCs, thankfully, focus on logistical support, and very few see actual warfare, because when they do, it usually doesn't end well. But this guy wanted action. So the idea of Operation Gideon, super simple, right? Infiltrate Venezuela by sea, capture Maduro and all his goons, spark a rebellion, restore democracy, viva la vida. The idea was there, I'll give it to them. The idea is something good. The execution was, however, horrible. You see, most of the force used for this coup was Venezuelan dissidents. The force also included a bunch of Green Berets, and the entire operation was overseen by Silver Corps USA. Now you might be thinking, what sort of training did these people go through in order to stop? I mean, a coup is a big deal. A coup is not something you can do with a snap of a finger. So you must be thinking, okay, wow, these guys got some high-level training, right? Their training consisted of partial starvation, war movies, and obviously playing FIFA on the PlayStation. I don't see how this plan failed, I mean. Now, Silver Corps USA's CEO was called Jordan Goodrow. Now, he was an ex-Green Beret. In the last few years, he worked at Trump rallies. I don't really see how that qualifies you for a coup. But yeah, this guy was in love with himself. He had this thing he would do where he posted pictures of him on social media working covert operations, which kind of defeats the idea of the operation being covert. He was like, damn, I look good in this picture, I'm gonna upload it. Even the dissidents were like, this guy just loves himself. This is the most unprofessional thing I've ever seen. This guy just wants fucking clout, I don't know. You see, within a month, the lack of trust within each other and the lack of trust in Silver Corps led to the decent force of 300 men to drop down to around 60 people. 60 people for a coup. You see, any other human being, any other with 2 functioning brain cells would be like, hey, you know what? Maybe we call it quits here. Maybe this ain't the move. But no. Jordan here, he wasn't done. You see, another mastermind behind the operation called J.J. Rendon. He was an anti-socialist, political strategist. That's a mouthful. And he was basically the bank for this situation. And this is where he decided to call it quits. He said, I'm not funding this anymore. You know what, JJ Rennan? Fair play. But Silver Corps, along with their famous CEO, Jordan Goodrow, was like, no. We got this. We're not done here. So he allegedly found new funding for the entire operation, which is great. I mean, woohoo. So in 2020, the Americans involved in the entire operation, they bought a private airplane at Miami airport to fly down to Colombia. Now, after landing in Colombia, they meet someone named Yaxi Alexandra Mirabal. Now, Jordan here, known for making rational decisions, obviously, described this person as a patriot, willing to give up everything to see the liberation of her country. She even funded the operation from her own pocket with about $100,000. I mean, that's awesome. That's completely awesome. They just happened to stumble upon a person willing to fund it. I mean, that's rare these days. You see, what Jordan failed to realize was that the private plane he flew on to get to Colombia was owned by a very wealthy businessman called Franklin Duran. Now, Franklin Duran, he had the funds. Who is Franklin Duran? And why does he have so much money? He had ties to a Venezuelan oil company. Yeah, and he also was arrested in 2008 for working with the Venezuelan government. Now, I realize it's easy for me to say, being just a guy on the internet, but come on, bro, that's like the first thing you check, no? If a guy's like, hey, I would love to help you, bro, doing this covert special operation. Oh, and I also have a ton of money. Don't worry about that part. You're not gonna question it for like a bit. You're not gonna question, okay, why does this guy wanna help? Jesus Christ. Jordan. Dude, if Jordan was a YouTuber, he'd probably take, I don't know, honey sponsorship. Do some digging yourself, man. It's your coup. Nonetheless, the operation was set in motion under Jordan's orders. That's hard to say. Nonetheless, the operation was set in motion. Some of the boats didn't have enough fuel to even make it to land, so they were just seen and captured by fishermen. The rest of the boats just kind of sailed into the Venezuelan army because they knew of the attack beforehand. Whoa, what a shocker, right? And some of the mercenaries was just never heard of ever again. Now, after this coup attempt failed, Jordan, he went immediately public. The Einstein of our time blamed the FBI, the DEA, his former employees, everyone but himself. The fact that Jordan did interviews and posted stuff about the operation while it was happening is completely irrelevant to the fact that it failed. The fact that he was funded by someone with ties to the Venezuelan government, I mean, that doesn't matter. That's completely irrelevant to it failing. This is like, this entire ordeal, this entire scheme is taken straight out of, I don't know, Ed, and Eddie. In what world would this work, Jordan? Now, a lot of people suspect that, you know, Maduro allowed this operation to happen as some sort of false flag operation, which, duh, the sky is blue. But worry not. Jordan, once again, the Einstein of our time, he said in an interview that the final push was done without Maduro's knowledge. Even though the Venezuelan army had exact coordinates of the landing spots where the boats were supposed to go, I mean, that's irrelevant. Jordan says Maduro had no clue. So what's the aftermath for all of this? Well, Maduro obviously gets a huge PR win. He can say, hey, we beat these US-backed mercenaries. Boom, I'm so cool, look at me. They're not gonna fly in with a helicopter and pick me up in a few years. No, that's not gonna happen. Jordan, in this case, gets sued, obviously. He gets sued, investigated, arrested on accounts of arms smuggling, tied with the coup, obviously. Released pending trial. In 2025, he doesn't show up in court. So an arrest warrant is issued. He's wanted by the FBI. If you find any info of him, they offer a 25k reward. So, you know, tell me before you report it in. So as of right now, he's a fugitive, probably hiding in Mexico somewhere. I don't know where criminals hide. The White House. So someone needs to tell Jordan what a covert operation means. I don't think he's getting it. Anyway, that's about it. I'm sure there are plenty of examples of just similar things, but the fact that this was not even like 6 years ago is so funny to me. But let me know in the comments if you know of any other dumb stories. Sorry for my absence, you know, life. Well, I might be back now, so this has been yours truly, Julie.